Welcome back to another episode of Shit I'm 30 with me, your host, Carla Wilmaris. And today the friend of the show is Mr. I'm Hungry. When I show up, I want my food, and it can't be Jamaican. It has to be soul food. Stylezz.
Yo, what's good, man? Trappin Annonymous, Duce Palooza, Tidal, you know what it is. Young Viral, the God, the legend. Stylezz, I'm in the flesh. Not here by mistake, I'm here by design. How you doing?
Hell, I like that. That's better than you wanting food right away.
Yeah, you putting my business out there on the street. I ain't want to be a dickhead, you know what I mean? I'm like one of those people that let food control their emotions, and I hate that about myself.
When you're hungry?
Yeah. So
when I'm hungry, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, that's not okay, though.
It's not.
It shouldn't have that much like power over you. You should be disciplined enough to be able to be like, all right, I'm hungry, but like I can't let that control who I am.
But sometimes it does because I'm hungry.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
So does it control you?
And it shouldn't. You got to build that discipline.
Okay, we're going to work on it.
Yeah.
We'll work on it together.
Absolutely.
So next time I'm hungry, I'm going to hit you and be like, I'm not cussing anybody out.
Thank you.
The first segment that I do here on the show, before I introduce why I wanted you on, and why I wanted to talk to you, I do a shit you should know. So I read an ad, a news report that said that TV programming aimed at Black and Hispanics kids has commercials that almost exclusively only push fast food, unhealthy snacks, candy, sugary drinks, and they had this whole entire study about this. So 86% of ad spending are Black targeted programming, and 82% spending are only on Spanish language TV. So I have my daughter, which I told you she's in middle school.
Yeah.
And when I look at the food that they're getting at school, it's awful. Pizza, and then when she's pizza nuggets, like she tells me that like if they get vegetables, they're disgusting and like they taste bad. But what they're seeing online and what she's always telling me she wants is what she's seeing on TV, what she's seeing on YouTube ads.
It starts young.
They do. So they're infiltrating our kids. But in the study, it shows that the rate for Asian stuff or white shows, they push the healthy stuff. And they choose the Spanish television, which actually is almost none that they have healthy things. It's all fast food, candy, junk, and the same thing with targeting Black kids. So I went to the grocery store not too long ago, and I had to stop in a little bit of the hood in Orlando, and I went to a Publix. I don't know if you know what Publix is.
I've heard it in like songs and stuff.
You never heard of Publix?
I heard it in songs and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
They got Publix in songs?
Yeah.
Well, it's the best freaking supermarket there is down south.
Okay.
So I go to Publix, and if you go to a nice area, Publix is super nice. Even in the hood of Publix, they didn't have fresh veggies. And if they did, they were rotten, and you couldn't, everything was just processed food, and you can see the people that are going to, they have carts full of chips. And that to me was worrisome. It's like, why are they targeting us the same way they put liquor stores in the hood? So this ad to me, I feel like people should know and be conscious. If you have children, if you have nieces and nephews, if you have friends that are parents, let them know this is real and it's going on. It's what your kids are watching.
Yeah,
because that's who our kids are. And I found out that you worked at a school and you were a counselor with kids. So you probably, how did you see their eating habits as you're watching them? Because you said that you like to cook and you try to eat a little bit better if you can. But how did you see this? Did you see it impact in the kids? Did you see them talking about stuff like this or what they ate?
Oh, first and foremost, I think like these companies, they're geniuses, you know, and they really train you up to be a certain way and to like certain things. And it even goes deeper than that, because if I can go and show you a Popeyes, I can show you a project building within a 5-block radius. Right. Those are the only places where a Popeyes could flourish. A Popeyes cannot flourish in a predominantly white neighborhood. Why? Because they don't eat that. I had a white coworker, her child freaks out over seaweed snacks.
What?
Yeah, it was like snacks, like made of like seaweed.
No, I know, but
and they would like freak out, like, more seaweed snacks, you know, because they're not feeding them sugary shit. They're not eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They're not eating none of that.
You said that, my mouth watered.
I know, and I wanted to because it's in my house.
Right.
That's why I said it. And fast food chains, even my house that I used to live at with my parents, dog. They used to have McDonald's Express. They used to have like even Subways. They used to have like all this stuff. And when the area got gentrified, downtown Brooklyn, those places closed.
Wow.
Quiznos closed. White Castle closed. Why? Because white people don't eat that shit.
Last time I was here, we were walking, or the time before last, I was walking down Harlem somewhere, I don't know where, and I saw Whole Foods. And I looked over at my friend and I was like, wow. a Whole Foods in the middle of like when I saw this before, there was nowhere close to being a Whole Foods around here.
Well, yeah, because white people don't want ShopRite.
Right.
They don't want Pathmark.
I like ShopRite.
I love it. But yeah, but that's a part of the training. You've been trained.
Right.
I've been trained.
It's,
you know, growing up, McDonald's was a reward.
It was.
Oh my God.
On Fridays,
yes.
if you did good throughout school, you get to go to McDonald's and get a toy and get your chicken fingers and French fries.
It's terrible. None of that food is good for you.
So I was telling the guests before I had here, I haven't had my daughter eat McDonald's in the 13 years she's been around. Do I take her to fast food? Yes, we go to Wendy's and we do baked potatoes. She likes the salads. She had a condition as well where I had to watch what she eats very well, but I just chose not to take her to McDonald's. I think one time I took her because I started these smoothies, and I was like, oh, it's fruit smoothies. Come to find out after I take her and I do a little bit more research, they're full of sugar.
Yeah,
those
that's
smoothies,
not a smoothie.
It was not a smoothie.
They
and
taste
I'm like,
so good.
Amazing.
I love those smoothies.
It was a mango pineapple thing.
They're so good.
So good.
The McFrappes and the McCafes and all that.
And the Blizzard.
Yeah,
is that what it's called? No, it's Dairy Queen. It's Blizzard. The McFlurry.
Yeah.
Oreo, extra Oreo.
Yeah, stuff is amazing.
So good. But we're trained, like you said, to eat all these things from our parents, and we have to break that cycle.
Yeah, no, it has to be us. We have to be the reason why a McDonald's cannot flourish in the neighborhood.
Right, but
it's cheap, it's easy, and
so cheap. But it's also cheap to go somewhere and get a bunch of chicken breasts and get some frozen broccoli and like cook some brown. That
requires work.
It does.
That's not easy. That's cheap, but it's not easy. It's time consuming.
It is.
And you don't have time because you got to go to work and you ain't got no money.
Right.
And you working overtime and you don't got time to cook. So now you got to bring your child to fast food. You got to order Domino's. This shit is terrible.
It's a cycle that we have to find. We definitely have to find a way to break it. And even if it's not cooking every single day, I feel like as a mom, I took the chance because I had mine young, and I said we're gonna at least try to have this done. Meal prep a little bit. So what I do is I cook extra on Monday to have leftovers for Tuesday. That way I'm not cooking Monday and Tuesday. So different stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting for people to know and be more aware that our kids are still being, shown this all day long and they don't know any better. And
where's your child right now?
She's with her dad.
Oh, I was about to say. I thought she had like her own place and shit.
She wants to.
If
grown. You let her know, let her hear this, she's gonna be like, it's my house.
Yeah,
she thinks she's grown. But anyways, I wanted to bring you on here, one, because I watched you. I met you when I was here in October.
That was when we first met.
It was when we first met.
Wow.
And then
we had such a great connection.
We did. You were awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And I thought you were dope, but then as I started watching you more stuff, and I think I had been tweeting you before I even met you.
Really?
And you would respond. I think it was like weird too, because you're on Twitter all day long.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to use Twitter very well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to use it, but I can't keep up. Mm-hmm. My attention span is short, and I'm everywhere.
Yeah, I just try to tweet from my mentions as much as possible. I don't like tweeting much from the timeline. I get lost.
Yes, I'm lost. So I probably need to start doing that if I want to get back on Twitter from years ago.
It just is about engagement.
Yeah.
And engaging the people that are
within your thoughts, because your thoughts they're great and the things that you say. But can you explain? I know a lot of people probably from where I'm from, and which is most of my following, don't know who you are. So who is Chris?
Who am I? Who is Chris?
Yeah.
Who is Chris, or who's like Chris Stylezz, or like who is?
So
So
is it two different people? Is Chris one person and Chris Stylezz is a different one?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we all are, these multi-layered people. It's not a simple answer for me because, like, depending on where I am or who I'm around, I think I wear different hats.
But wearing a different hat doesn't change who you are. You can wear different hats, but so. For me, Carla's always Carla. I might be mom Carla, and I might be the podcaster Carla, or I might be the friend Carla, but that Carla doesn't change too much.
When I was working in high school, I was not Chris Stylezz.
Absolutely not.
No.
So basically, Chris Stylezz is a persona for work?
A persona. It's what I love to do. It's the hosting. It's the podcasting. It's the personality. It's the, talking to people in the street. Like, that's who I am. It's the giving back to the community. It's the doing the education and pushing the culture a little bit further. It's changing what's cool.
So where did it all start? Because now if they look you up, they're going to see your page with celebrities and big parties and you behind a mic, and it's like, wow, you posted something about Forbes and now you're doing it. Where did it all start? Like, how did Chris Stylezz come about?
I cut school in junior high school. Chris Stylezz was my rap name. My rap name was actually The Kid.
Okay.
And Michael, the guy that I cut school with, basically told me that's fucking whack, and he's gonna call me Stylezz. I was so angry at him for doing that, and we started rapping, and he kept calling me Stylezz. So I was like, all right, fine, I'm Stylezz. And since then, I just really haven't changed my name.
Do you still talk to him?
No, I have no idea what Mike is.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen.
So thank you, Mike, if you ever hear this, for naming him Stylezz.
He's gonna hit me up one day. I just know it. I just don't know when. My math teacher hit me up the other day.
Really?
She used to kick me out of class every day. And she's just like, wow.
And you thought I wasn't gonna make it nowhere, huh?
I waited all my life to like tell.
To the teacher something?
Hell yeah, come on.
So this party, are you a rapper now?
Yeah, I've been up all night. You see the body need a rest, kid. Dabbling in thoughts about how we've been arrested. Understand sometimes in life you lose and the rest well invested. I don't know if God got a hold or the devil got me tested. You see the ways of the world keeps the projects infested. Not just the housing complex, but everything that I've been blessed with. What you don't know remains what you lack. Without the proper education, it reflects how you act. The listeners feed and the readers digest. All you have to do is learn and understand the process. You see the body remains a temple for those that are using it, but it shall break down for the ones that are abusing it. No, I'm not a teacher or a pastor and such. I just figured if I knew it, I'd pass it as much.
Okay. Go ahead now. Oh, you got flow. I like it. Yeah. So is this what you're doing now?
No.
So
I wrote that in jail.
Wait. When did you go to jail?
When I was 18 years old.
What'd you go to jail for?
I was only in the bookings for like 2 days. But mistaken identity. I fit the description.
But you're going to write that one off forever. In jail.
Give me some clout, right? Which is sad, right? That's what gives us cool points in the hood.
No, the guy that I actually recorded with, we had a lady that been in prison for 13 years. He's like, yeah, when I've been to jail. And she's like, yeah, for what? He goes, for traffic tickets.
Yeah, this is some bullshit. I was in jail.
He's like, I've been in jail 4 times for traffic tickets each time.
Some bullshit.
Right. But so now you're doing these parties and you're basically known for your crazy host.
Yes.
Where did this party start? Because it didn't start in arenas.
Which one?
Oh, that's how you know you super popping. Wait a minute, which one? Humble flex. So which one? How did it start? Which one to start with?
So in college, I had my own PR company, and I would just tour the East Coast and do all of those schools through my fraternity. And I just got tired of being a guy that was just shimmying on girls in the club and this, that, and the third, sort of the Kappa Alpha Psi. So when I was doing that, I'm like, I want to do more. And I had a DJ, and I was just like, yo, how do you do that mic thing? Like, he's like, yeah, here's the levels. You go in, you go out, you interact with the crowd. I'm like, all right, let me try that. And people was responding to me. And it was just such a sense of power.
Over the people, over
the emotions. Like, they could have had a terrible day. You're like, you're making them smile. You're making them go left. You're making them go right. And I think I got like a problem with like power. I love power a lot, you know, and it's pretty sick. You know, I was the youngest child.
Well, is it power or is it being influential?
It's power.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. Because I like giving, like, being an influence for people to look up to me or say, you're doing something good, I like what you're doing, or like me being able to get someone to do something but for good.
Yeah.
The power could be a problem because you can take that and go left, but you haven't done that yet.
No, I try to use my powers for good and not evil. It's something my mother told me since I was 8 years old.
Okay, good. So you're traveling now with your fraternity. I almost said
so traveling with the fraternity, doing this, that, and the third. Now I'm like addicted to it. I'm like, oh, I gotta host everything. I'm hosting backyard parties. I'm hosting stroll shows, step shows, anywhere that got a mic. I'm hosting tour bus. Like if we was on a tour bus to Atlanta, it had a mic in there. I was hosting on it.
From New York to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's a long time.
Yeah, it was like a group thing that we did in the Greek world and D9 and stuff like that. So I was hosting there. So I just got tired of just in that college crowd. I didn't want to be the older dude sneaking off to the freshman dorms. So I was just like, all right, I kind of want to step into it.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, me too. So I basically just, my friend threw a little party called Henny Palooza at the time. And I asked him like, yo, I think I could, rock out with that. I've always been ambitious. I've always been somebody that was like,
I can do that.
Yeah. I can make that better.
Right. Because you're that good and you're good.
I'm the best.
Right.
Yes. So when I asked him, he's like, yeah, come through, da-da-da. But, it was tough at first because it's a bully sport, They didn't know me. Who the fuck is this kid? Okay. Who does he think he is?
And this Henny Palooza is already big?
Henny Palooza is getting there.
Okay.
It's probably 1 year, about to be 1 year. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get in. I couldn't even get into Henny Palooza at first. It was such an exclusive event.
And it was small.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, I finally got my shot, and I just say, yo, I told my friend, I said, yo, just put me in the room. I could do the rest. I was that confident in my ability. I'm that confident in myself because I know what I bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, you know, and before you knew it, I was like turning up the little parties that they was throwing. So I was like, oh shit, all right. So then I spoke to the other hosts, and I was just like, yo, I need parts. I know you run the city, but I need in. He's like, all right, take the first 2 hours. First time I tried to go on stage, they told me no. It's like, yo, 5 more minutes, man. I got you in 5 minutes.
And the 5 minutes kept coming, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes.
And I storm off, and I'm like, you promised me your shot. You told me I could. He's like, yo, don't worry.
It'll come.
Don't worry. You know what I mean? Sometimes that no is preparing you for something bigger.
Right.
So, you know, I stuck to it. That first 2 hours turned into 4 hours, and I ain't looked back since. So I started doing the Henny Palooza. We did 50 shows in 5 years, all over the country. And Jay was interested in doing, you know, bringing us over and doing something with Duce. And we made it happen. You know, the numbers made sense, and we made it happen. So now it's Duce Palooza. Shout out to everybody that's been a part of that. And it's just been glorious ever since.
I wonder how you get there, because I'm coming from a city that's not known as a big party city. So New York is like where the parties are at. But you're taking it everywhere. So I come from Orlando, and I remember when I first started the show, I wanted to bring in some people that own some clubs, and I'm like, I wanted to do something about like a club moguls or something like that. And they told me, no, we don't do interviews. And I sat back and I said, huh? Why? You know, like, why wouldn't you want to use your influence and what you know to help others? Because everything that I know, I want to use it to teach others. There's always someone that needs to learn from you, someone that always needs to hear your story, that'll learn from you. And when they didn't do that, I was like, well, that sucks. Now I'm looking at you, and I'm seeing you're grown out of New York. You'll go to what? I think you guys went to LA?
Yeah, we did 22 cities 3 years ago.
Right, and you're going to cities that probably aren't known as the biggest party cities. And you're throwing a party there, and people are coming out. What do you think makes you stand out from those parties, like, in town that can't do that?
Because it wasn't exclusive. It wasn't like you need a section. You can't buy a section. There's no VIP.
Oh, really?
There's no tables. Everybody's equal. So now you're sitting there, you know, Chance the Rapper might be in Chicago, and he's
walking around
at Palooza. You know what I mean? Or, you know, Tidal might be in LA, and he at Palooza. And it was just such a home vibe. It was just such a house party. And you ain't have to put your heels on. You could come in your leggings. You could come
I don't wear heels.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do all that shit. You could just come as you are, like church. You know what I mean? Well, like how church was supposed to be.
Right, how it's supposed to be.
And people love that vibe about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just blessed to just be a part of that and help transcend and bring it to where it is today.
You've definitely done it. Now, you started a podcast, and I remember the first one I heard was one that happened to have someone that I knew. But it's Trappin Annonymous. You don't say who's on there.
No, completely anonymous. All the identities of my guests are completely concealed.
Why is that?
Because there's power in anonymity, you know? There's power in not knowing necessarily who someone is, but being able to remove the identity and just stick to what they're saying, the core of them. It gives people a heightened sense of who they are when they know they're not being judged
right
for who they are.
Because I have people that I want to come on, and they're like, oh, I don't know if I want people to know that about me. And I'm just like, I'm so open, and I'm an open book. Then I'm like, why aren't you what's the problem?
So I changed the voice.
Right. So you changed the voice so they can go ahead and say what they wanted to.
And they can be as free as they want.
And no one ever recognizes them?
Sometimes.
But you're like, bitch, I tried.
You know, what do you want me to do? But no, it doesn't happen often.
No? Okay. Really doesn't. So do say, I've seen that one. Then I go on your page and I see you on stage with like what looks like 1 million people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Duce.
Yeah.
It was something else.
Yeah.
It was an R&B party.
Absolutely.
So whose party is that?
Well, my friend Ravy B, she had this R&B party that she used to always ask me to host, and she did it with some guys from Uptown, ITYB, and they would be like, oh, you know, come through and just host. And then I kind of saw so much potential in it. I was like, you guys are sitting on a gold mine. They're like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's just fun. It's just friends, I'm like, why aren't you guys charging? It's like, yeah, it's not really like that. I'm like, okay. And so I just said, stop paying me to do this party. I want to be on the board, and I want to help take this to the next level. And they were like, yeah, maybe, we're not really.
It wasn't their vision.
We wasn't really thinking about expanding. You know what I mean?
And you're like, I see something. You're sitting in a gold mine, like you said.
I'm like, okay. And I also know, like, I have I'm a marketing genius. I can market some shit.
I've seen some confident people. Mm-hmm. I think I can say probably from the last, how long ago you got here? It hadn't even been an hour. Mm-hmm. You might be the most confident motherfucker I've met in my life.
Because it's important.
No, it absolutely is. And people just call me certain things, but it comes off to society different when a man is confident and when a woman's confident.
Absolutely.
Then I'm just a bitch, or I'm just bossy, or it's like, yes. But when a man does it, it's like, oh, they're just fucking confident.
It's attractive.
Yes. But if a woman, it's just like, it's off-putting to certain men that are in power, and they think that my power might somehow diminish theirs.
Yeah, because men don't want strong women.
Right.
No, we want women that are impressed by us. Yes, men. Men want
all men.
I mean, I can't speak for all men, no, but generally speaking, men want women that are impressed by them. They want the woman that looks at them for their nice car. Men are not buying the cars because they, like cars. They don't like cars. You know what I mean? And I'm being facetious, but it's just like, it's for the woman. We want to impress her.
I think you guys do it for the other men too.
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on, but even that comes back down to who gets the girl.
Right.
At the end of the day.
But a woman with power can still be impressed by a man with, like, a man that has it going on.
Yeah, do good. Just don't do better than me.
That's crazy.
Like a lot of your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Uh-huh.
But I want to do better than most that are around me, and I want to keep pushing. And I try to put myself in a group and in a room with people that are doing better than me. So I don't want to be the one doing the best. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. I always want to have someone that I can learn from, and then at the same time that I can teach them something.
Only an idiot wants to be the smartest person in the room.
And there's some people that are fucking idiots.
Yeah, a wise man knows that he knows nothing at all.
Right.
If there's a room full of 9 millionaires, I'm going to be the 10th.
How did you become to be like this? Because I want to go into
everybody asks me
your last episode. I can say mine, and mine was my father. I talk about him all the time. I just lost him in 2016. Closest thing I had, my father was an entrepreneur. My father was a genius businessman. My father could get everything, and I learned to be as strong as I am, as much of a hustler as I am because of him. He was a hustler,
right?
And my dad had it all. He would walk in the room, and everybody's like, there he go. Or they would talk about him. To this day, they talk about him like he was so great. So that's what I aspired to be and be respected that way. Because it wasn't just the power that he had, it's the fact that people respected him for it and he was humble. Mm-hmm. So what made you be the way you are?
I've always had a gift. Some people could sing, some people could dance, some people could play basketball. My gift in life was people. Always has been. Whether I'm one-on-one or hosting for 6,000 people, I just know people and I can work people and I can use my gift for good because I believe in good and I believe in getting it back. If I spent my time doing shady business, trying to slight people, I'd get that back in life, and I don't want that.
Right.
I want my legacy to be forever. So I just had to really reach a point where it's like, all right, if God is going to give me, I'm not ashamed to say God, if God is going to give me a gift of something that I could really change. I didn't think I had a gift for a very long time. I thought everybody could walk into a room and by the time they leave, they's like, who's that guy? Right. I thought everybody could work a crowd and have everybody laughing and rolling off. I thought everybody could do it. I didn't know it was a gift. And then when I realized that it was a gift, it was like, okay, now what can we do with this? How can we maximize on this? And it's through good. It's better to give than to receive. It just feels better. It's a high. It's almost selfish.
Yeah, but because you're good at it.
Yeah. And
you're not willing to take less. But now, fast forwarding a little bit into your life now, because you're now the man with the parties and that's what you got going on, but maybe not everyone knew that you had a job.
Yes.
So during all this, we see Instagram, which I call all the time a highlight reel. Mm-hmm. And it's your best moments, and you don't talk about your low points or when you're sad or when something's going wrong or when something didn't happen for you. A door closed in front of you, you're not going to talk about it necessarily, that door closing. So you look so great and you have a job, nobody knows about it. They don't realize you've been working
every day
behind the scenes
every day
without letting everyone know to reach to a certain point.
Yes.
What were you doing for the past 5 years?
I was a counselor in a high school, and I worked with at-risk youth. And I helped them with college, career, things that they was doing, things that they wanted to speak about in life, looking at that post-secondary planning, took them on trips, and all that kind of stuff.
So I did an episode, and I told you briefly earlier, I was an accountant.
Yeah.
So I had my daughter at 18. I was young. I went straight into working. I went to college for a year. Then I said, I want to be able to provide for my daughter. I got married, and I worked. I get cancer. I got diagnosed on a Tuesday. On Thursday, I was in the operating room to remove all the cancerous cells. My dad said to me, this is how close my dad, and he's like, get better. If you get through this, I'll buy you some boobs. And I was like, bet. Let's do this. So November, by February, I go to surgery again to get boobs because I got through it and it was great. I had to go every 3 months to get checked. And that was my dad's gift to me, how we were joke about. But then he said to me, let's open up another pawn shop. So my father had pawn shops for years in Puerto Rico since before I was born. And he never wanted to open one in the U.S. So we opened one together. I was there for about 3 to 4 years when I decided that I didn't want to live under the umbrella of my father forever. Him and I are two characters. We had so much going on. I'm like, Dad, I want to do my own thing. We're good with numbers. Let me go off and go to college. And that way I can understand, because we have an accountant and we're paying this accountant. Let me do the accounting. I want to go to school. So I leave, and it was actually, we had a fight. And I left and I started working downtown. I was like, I can hustle. I can do this myself. So I go and work downtown, and I finally decide that I'm going back to school. A friend of mine gets killed downtown that I was working with, a DJ, and I go back to school.
So your father did very well for himself.
Very well. Very, very well. But I never wanted to. I was the one kid that was like, I can do it. I can hustle the same way you've hustled. Because my father doesn't even have a high school diploma.
Wow.
So he did it all on himself. And that he used to sell gold out of a little truck, buy gold and sell it from a little truck until he grew to what he grew to.
DJ gets killed. Go back to school.
Yeah. DJ gets killed. I go back to school, and I said, I don't want to do this shit no more. It was a big eye opener because I'm leaving cash. I was making now listen $1,000 a night as a bottle girl, taking niggas' monies, and I'm working out for $16 an hour. It sucks. 40 hours a week, and I'm like, damn, what am I supposed to do now? I have to finish school. My father passes away when I have a year left. So I say, this is my time.
How did it affect you?
It was awful because money changes people. So there's just one thing I want to talk to you about, because once we get there, because money, the love of money is the root of all evil. And I've always known this. My dad never loved money. My dad made money, and with his money, he helped and changed so many people's lives. And he didn't act like he was a nigga with money. He was such a humble man, but some people aren't like that. So anyways, I leave, I go back to school, and that last year, I'm not working. I'm subjected to other people's helping me and working with them and not doing what I want to do. But I had to do what I had to do, sacrifice to finish this last year of school. I'm an accountant now, and I say I'm not going to go to work unless I make this amount. I get the job. Once I start, I have student loans now, $60,000 of student loans. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? I hate this. I'm 6 months in. I got everything I wanted, and this is not what I want to do. I didn't go into this to be an accountant. I went into this to go back with my dad one day and run the business and do the accounting for it and understand what this accountant was doing. I didn't come. I like to talk. I'm a people person. I loved helping others. At pawn shops, you're helping people. So I'm uneasy. It's not what I want to do, and I've always known that I like to talk and I like to be around people. So I started a blog, turned it into a podcast, and I knew instantly I wanted to be in broadcasting. This is what I wanted to do forever. I just did it. I couldn't pinpoint it because I'm a mother, and my daughter to me came first. So I took the job, and I said, I'll give myself 2 years. I'm going to save as much money as I can. I'm going to live like I'm broke so I can then later on live like I'm rich.
I love that.
So I lived like I was broke for that 1 year, then another year again while I was working, saved my money, October, quit my job.
You didn't have a ton of money from inheritance?
The love of money is the root of all evil. That turns people into something else.
So what do you mean?
I walked away. I'm not going to fight with people that love money. A house, I'm not gonna, I don't think I've ever talked about this. I'm not going to subject my peace for money. I can make my own money. And I can see people living great money-wise, but I know they're not happy. And to me, happiness comes first. I got to be happy. I can't put my daughter in a situation where it's like, I'm going to show her that money is the most important thing, because it's not. And I wanted to be happy, so I chose to walk away. And I'm at that point still right now. I went back to therapy because I had to deal with losing my dad, but I don't love money. And I want it. I love taking trips and doing all this, but I want to have it from my own. I don't want to have to fight for it, because at the end of the day, my dad left that money behind, but I didn't work for it. You know, it was his money. So if it's not going to be split off evenly or the way it's supposed to be, I'm not going to fight for it either. And I'm not going to sit here and become a different person or lie or do certain things for a couple bucks, even if it's more than a couple.
Did that change your relationship with your family?
I don't speak to my family.
At all?
No.
How does that affect you now?
It sucks, and I talk about it all the time, because it sucks. You're alone. You don't have support. You're doing everything on your own, but you feel better. There's a sense of peace within you when you know you're not battling someone who they're just not right. You know,
yes,
you know a right from wrong when you see it.
I understand.
But then I hear your episode, and you're talking about you quitting your job and what it took to get there, and how people just aren't financially savvy. They want to jump the gun and only see your highlights, but don't realize your grind behind it. So how was that for you leaving your job? Because it was hard as hell. It was scary. For me, it's scary because I don't have just myself to look after. I have a kid to look after. And I have to make sure she's good. And I have to make sure I'm good, and that I'm sane enough to take care of her, and that I'm positioning myself in a way where she can see not only that my mom went after what she wanted, because she's going to grow up and be 18 years old in 5 years. And I don't want her to think that my mom just sacrificed life and she did this. I don't want her to sacrifice herself for a man or for children. Once her time comes, you do what you want to do when you want to, but do it smartly. You have to have calculated risks in everything that you do. And I calculated my risk, and I knew that I have a career, and if in 6-7 months it doesn't go off the way I want it, I can go back to work, save again, and come back. Or hustle or cut back on certain things. I can cut back on things all day. So how was it for you, and when did you decide that you were done working? Because you've been doing these parties, you're doing well. What took you so long to leave your job?
5 years is not a long time.
I couldn't do 5 years. The uneasiness inside of me after a year, I could not do 5 years. I was going to jump off the fucking building.
Yeah, because like time and space, it's all relative, right? In retrospect, it wasn't a long time, right? But going through it, it's like, damn, when is this going to be over? Damn, when is that? So, you know, I put away. For 5 years, I've been putting away. You know, I've been feeding it until it was time for me to reap the fruit of my labor. And it was terrifying. I'm still terrified as I'm talking to you, because I have to now reconstruct my mind. Getting up and going to work every day, living that cycle, that simulation.
Right.
You get up, go to work, get dressed, commute, go to work, come back home, commute, go to sleep.
Now you got to do it again the next day.
Wake up, get dressed, commute, go to work. And so we do that for years, not days, not months. We do that for years. So now I have to deprogram myself from 5 years of living in that same cycle.
And some people, you're saying 5 years, some people it's 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I had somebody that was commenting on my podcast. They basically said, you know, they got a letter in the mail that says, you know, happy 24th birthday, whatever the case may be, you'll be eligible for retirement at 65.
That's a long time.
Are you fucking dumb? Are you dumb? Do you think that's when I want to go and live freely and enjoy? I'm sitting there calling out of work, my heart pounding, thinking of excuses.
Right.
I'm using bereavement as an excuse. So-and-so died 2 months ago. I'm still trying to drag it on. See if I can still get some time off. Sick time is limited. You're going to tell me if I could be sick? I could run out of sick time. God bless America, right?
Yeah. It's one hell of a fucking country when it comes to that.
You do all that, and then they tell you, all right, you're eligible for 2.5 weeks of vacation.
But not everybody's made to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone's made to be. We need those secretaries. We need those janitors. We need those teachers.
So, and that's what I tell people all the time. You have entrepreneurs, you have intrapreneurs, you have people that can climb the corporate ladder and sit at the CEO position.
Right.
You have people that need structure, that need to a schedule.
Right.
In order to be productive, they need that. That's why when I speak, I'm speaking for me. And if it happens to resonate with you, I'm speaking to you.
Right.
But if not, please do not take this as the Holy Grail. This is not the Bible.
It's your story. It's Chris's book.
I am a creative. This is how my mind works. This is not the mind of everybody else.
We're all over. I remember being at work and having so many ideas, but I knew I had a deadline with my stuff, or I had close week was coming up, and I had to get all these numbers crunched. And I'm like, I cannot. By the end of it, I could not concentrate on these white people money.
No.
Because my mind was somewhere else.
Yes.
And I know towards the end they knew that like something is wrong here. Like she's not here anymore. I was so cheery and I'm always hyper. I'm always happy. I talk to everybody and they're like, "What's going on?" And I'm just like, "No, I'm fine. I'm just having a hard time at home. I made up some whole fight and lie about going." It wasn't that. I just didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah, I told my boss I was leaving. My boss. I told my boss I was leaving and she laughed. Like, all right, stop playing. All right, what do you want to talk about? I said, no, I'm out.
Did you give it 2 weeks?
I gave her a month.
Okay, I did too.
I love my boss. I don't want this to sound like I'm bashing. I love my boss and I love my job. It wasn't my passion.
Right. And there's two whole different things.
I have to follow my passion.
Yes.
Why am I put on this earth? My work couldn't be limited to a caseload. My work is for the world.
And just like you say, passions, some people's passions are to be a teacher.
Be that.
Right. Stay where you are. So again, I get messages sometimes. They're like, well, what if my passion is not your passion?
It's fine.
Everyone has a different, well, how do I know my passion? The day that you feel uncomfortable and the day that you find your passion, you will know. I thought it was bullshit.
I think it's actually simple. It's so, your passion is anything you do for free.
Yeah. Because hell, I've been working for free.
What would you do for not $1 and you would just be so satisfied?
Yeah.
And you would be so rewarded.
I didn't even think of it that way, but it's so true.
Yeah,
because I would go home from work and work hours. I mean, I would go to sleep at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning to wake up again at 5:30, 6 o'clock. But it felt good and I didn't feel tired. At 3 o'clock at work, oh my God, those last 2 hours drag were the worst. But at home, while I was editing and learning stuff for the podcast or looking for like stuff with the radio, I'm hype. I'm up. Like I drink a cup of coffee and not even have coffee. I love doing that.
That's something in you. That can't be,
It's not taught. And you can't Google it. It comes.
That's right.
So you saved up and you said, I'm done?
Yeah, I saved up. I had multiple streams of income. I had different events. I was doing the merch. I was investing in other people and things. And I was just like, I never valued money. My mother would walk into my room and be like, why is there money on the floor? And I'd be like, oh, sorry. You know what I mean? I never looked at money and put it on a pedestal. And not to say I've always had money, because there's been times I was dead broke. I remember I got like $8,000 from like a car crash settlement. And I just told myself I'd never be broke again. When I left my job, I said I'll never work for somebody again. It had to be partnership. It had to be alignment. Right. Even when I got the deal with Tidal, it was just like...
What happened with that?
Well, what do you want to know?
What was the deal? It was for the podcast?
Yeah. So I just did a 10-episode deal, and I gave them exclusive rights for 12 months. Yeah.
You say it's so nonchalant. Like, yeah, that's the way it goes. And that can be some people's dreams.
Yeah, because when you're walking in your path...
It'll come.
It's a shock to everyone else. But this is what you've been working for. Right. I've been doing Trappin Annonymous for 2 years. Are you kidding me? And
it got picked up when?
It got picked up in August. But why? How could I walk in there and sell them episodes from 2 years ago? Right. My material's timeless. It doesn't expire. 20 years from now, you're going to want to know how people was getting to it. You're going to know how the scammers was getting down. You're going to know how the prostitutes was getting down.
Right.
It's not gossip.
As we still watch it on Netflix.
Right now.
They have it from all the cartels. How are they doing it?
Want to see it.
Get their stores and they want their stories.
We still want to see it.
Right.
And we'll watch it again.
Again and again, because I love all those shows. Every single one of them, I'm like, oh, if I could only sell some drugs, but I know I'll go to jail. Oh, I know I sold my first dime and I'm in jail. And I can't go to jail because I don't want a mugshot and then they're going to beat me up.
You feel me?
So I know I stay in my lane. Yeah. So I know that my lane is talking shit and being in front of a mic and like trying to teach people and helping and being out there. But drugs ain't for me. The same way you knew that being in a 9 to 5, being confined to that, it wasn't for your mind is everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't think many people understand what the mind of a creative is like.
No. And
they judge us for it.
Yeah, but I had to do that. I had to sit there and go to work. And as I'm putting money away, I'm also investing in my ideas. I'm also putting ideas away. I'm also working on my craft. I'm also getting out of work, and then I'm going to record the podcast, and I'm going to LA on the weekends, and then I'm coming back to go to work, and then I'm recording the podcast again, and I'm hosting somebody else's event. I was burning a candle at both ends.
Right. It's tied.
If I don't get nothing back except for my time, I've won. I broke it down, 40 hours a week. Then you think about the time that it takes you to commute. You put an hour on the front, you put an hour on the back. That's an extra 2 hours on each day. It comes out to like 50, 55 hours a week, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, I did the math. It comes out to like 2 days. 2.5 full days you spend at work.
That's insane. That's what I tell you.
If I don't get nothing back but my time, I've already won.
Yeah.
That's how precious and valuable it is to me.
And you're willing to hustle, because another thing that if anyone out there is thinking about, I want to quit my job too. This is something I want to do. You have to understand that you have to have the same discipline that you had when you were waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning and working till 5 p.m. It's hard sometimes. I've had my days where I don't want to get out of bed.
I love that.
And I'm like,
I love those days.
But those days sometimes they hurt me. You get
That's
low
terrible.
and you're
It's
like,
terrible.
you're fucked in the head. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
That's terrible.
Where's the next check gonna come from? But what you do with that is like sit there for that day, and the next day start all over again.
Dog. Let's say that is what it comes out to be. Could you still go back to work?
Yes, I could, but I don't want to.
So like the risk got to be worth the reward for me. Like me sitting there knowing that this, that, and the third. But what's the alternative? Getting up and go to work?
I don't want to go.
No,
I don't want to go.
I'm not doing that.
I could, and my degree is there if I needed to. If it's but
Sometimes it's fuck plan B, and that's what my job was.
except when it comes to the pill. You
I get it.
you take
Okay.
that plan B. Don't say fuck plan B sometimes, ladies.
Yeah, no.
You go ahead and take that.
No, you want to take the plan B, please. Don't be ridiculous. But, sometimes plan B or having that in the back of your head slows you up.
It does.
Sometimes you
It
got to
does.
go full force. You just got to jump.
It happened to me. I just knew. I told you I auditioned and applied for a radio position. And I just knew, I'm like, this is for me. I might get this. I didn't leave my job for it. It came about after. And they told me, it's between you and like I think it was 2 other girls. They ended up giving it to somebody else. And at first I was like, it broke me. But I said, why am I letting it break me? I had a dream, and it was like one door closing, another one's opening.
Yeah,
like that wasn't my place. It wasn't for me to be there. There's somewhere else where I belong. I don't know when I'll find it.
No.
But when it gets here, it's gonna feel damn good, because everything that I've accomplished thus far by myself, without any support, I did it. It feels good.
Yeah.
And once that door opens, it's gonna feel damn good.
That's what I told you. 5 years ago, grad school told me no. And I couldn't understand it for the life of me. I want to do good. I want to continue my
What did you
education.
want to go to school for?
I wanted to further my education and just like more like counseling and like mental health stuff and all that. And they told me no. I didn't have the grades. Or I wasn't what they were looking for.
Wow.
Thank you, God. They told me no.
Right.
I couldn't understand it for the life of me at the time. I was so defeated. But thank God they told me no.
Yeah. If they didn't tell you no, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
You feel me?
You would have been in school.
In the office.
Right. When I battle sometimes with my dad leaving, I'm like, why him? Why him? If he didn't pass away, he was a crutch to me. I was his little girl. He would give me whatever I want. I knew always that if anything went wrong, I can run back to my dad. Now that he's not here, it took that like
Safety.
that floor off me, and I'm like, girl, you gotta work and you gotta go. And I wouldn't have hustled as hard as I am doing now to show my daughter something different if he didn't go.
That's right.
But listening to your show, honestly, guys, listen to that one episode, because it gives you that perspective from a different creative and someone that did it a little bit different than I did.
Trappin Annonymous is called 2 weeks notice.
2 weeks notice. Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not. No, I am not.
Okay. So maybe you can still, but you have been. What's your longest relationship?
I think it was like 3 years.
Okay, cool. So I have unsolicited advice. And basically, sometimes they're solicited, sometimes they're unsolicited, and this one is unsolicited. And then it's
What's
a
unsolicited
girl.
mean?
That they didn't ask me. We just gonna give them because I want to fucking give them a thing about what they asked somebody else. So this one says, my boyfriend's mad at me because I don't want to put a car in a name for him. He doesn't have credit and he needs a new car. I have good credit and he wants me to get him a car by putting one in my name and let him use it. I told him I've made dumb mistakes with my previous boyfriend before, and I told him that I don't want to go through that again. Now he's mad and saying that he needs my help and I'm not helping him. Am I wrong?
No. Are you kidding me?
I hear this often. Have you heard, like, you've heard people say this before? Like, put your name up. Like, sign for me. Co-sign.
Since the beginning of time, men have been using women's name and credentials to put stuff in their name so that they could get other things. No.
It's so wrong. My dad always said,
up.
like, he's not co-signing for anybody. He did for my car. And to this day, I'm like, wow. And it was so I could get 0% interest. But I made sure, I was so scared that I made that payment every single month. But you're not supposed to put your credit up for nobody.
No.
You don't ever know when they're going to go into hard times. What if they lose their job? What if whatever happens, it ends up being back on you? Or what if y'all break up? That's not even your husband.
Yeah. And the fact that you literally have a lesson in life that told you made a bad decision, for you to walk back into that,
It'd be dumb.
you're literally saying, I learned nothing. And if you felt like he was the one, you wouldn't even be asking us.
Right. So it's
Whether you are or not.
Yeah. Well, no, she was asking. Not
She was
us.
asking someone.
Someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, so she wouldn't be asking.
Yeah.
If she felt.
She knows. She knows it's
Yeah.
wrong for her to put it on there.
Yeah.
So it's like, just tell him. And he probably isn't the right one for you to be manipulating you and telling you, oh, you're wrong. Like, you're supposed to be helping me. No, you're not.
I like to always tell people, if you got to ask, you already know.
But there's certain times that you can ask someone for help for something.
Give me an example.
I might need my friend to go pick up my daughter.
No, not like that. But if you ask her for like advice.
Oh, I
It's
thought
like,
you meant like him
oh,
asking
yo.
her.
No.
No, yeah.
If I'm like, yo, my girl asked me for $100, and last time I already know the answer.
Right. And you just want someone to corroborate what you're already thinking.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You're right.
You're going to do what you want anyway. Sometimes you just want to hear
And
it.
even if she does co-sign for this car, she knows she's doing it and she's wrong. And she shouldn't have done it. And she probably knows that he's not good. Because if he has bad credit, clearly the past shows you he ain't paying for his shit.
Come on.
So he's not going to pay for the stuff that you co-sign either, because it's not going to fall back on him. You're going to pay for it.
Absolutely.
And you have good credit. You don't want to fuck up your credit. So he knows he's going to be riding in a car. Y'all going to break up and he's going to be riding pretty with another bitch in the car. And you still paying for it.
She knows. She already knows.
Right.
That's why she's asking.
So it's no point in even going into that one. So my last one, you're going to be like, what the fuck? It's my favorite segment. And it's called Shit Talk. Something happens and I like to talk about it. It might be something that I see or something that I go through. So I talk about, I know you haven't heard the show before, but I suffer with constipation. So whenever I take a shit, everybody celebrates with me. I'm real open about your face. I'm like a dude. I talk about it, and I feel like it's something we should all talk about.
Okay.
When you go to the bathroom, you just celebrate it. Remember Dr. Oz when he did the whole episode about it? You should know how healthy you are.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's talk about it and celebrate it. And for me, I'm like, I found out more people than I thought suffer through this, especially girls. And they don't talk about it because, of course, you're like, that's not something girls talk about. And I'm like, well, why not? You just go to the bathroom. You go to the bathroom, don't you?
Yes.
I do too. I'm having issues with it, and I want everybody to know about it so I can learn. Maybe I read books, and you're like, oh my God, this is gross. So I take this tea, and it's this Asian tea. Chris, open your eyes.
Oh, sorry.
Have you ever taken a laxative?
No, I don't think so.
Never? No. Are you one of the, you seem like one of those niggas that are regular. You wake up and you go every single morning?
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a little dry. You drink water, or you try to drink some tea to move your bowels and some warm water. You know what I mean? But
so every morning, every evening, once a day, twice a day?
Yeah.
See, I can go 5 days. And that's not cool. But it's been since I was little. But some people are blessed like you are, and you're like, what the fuck?
One time I went to summer camp, and we slept in cabins, and it had like a lot of daddy long legs and a lot of weird insects in the bathrooms. So I held my shit the entire camp stay.
How long was the camp stay?
Like 15 days.
Stop. You did not hold it 15 days.
Yes, I did. I came home and I shit about 3 times in one day. My mother like, boy, why would you do that? I said, Mom, I was scared.
You scared of what?
The bathroom.
Oh, having a spider come up your booty?
Mm-hmm.
I would have been scared too.
Terrified.
It would have never touched me because I probably would have never had the urge to go. But I take these teas and I call them the shit teas, and they're usually Asians. And you know what they actually probably are? The same thing as those fit teas that they sell, that the Instagram girls say. So it's probably the same thing, them flat tummy teas. So I'll take these, and I had a different box. And it was a new box that I never used before. Oh, shit. And I decided to take 2. I'm like, I've never used this one before. It's probably not as strong. I'm going to put 2 tea bags in it. And I took it about 9 p.m. And I'm like, all right, by the morning it should hit me or something. Stop. Here I go. I'm fine until like 5:30 in the morning. I keep waking up and I'm like, what's wrong? I forgot about the damn tea. My stomach starts hurting really bad and I'm like, something is wrong. What's going on? I go back to sleep and I just position myself in a different way. So I'm not laying in my stomach. Nope. Happened again. I'm like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom. I could not leave the toilet for about 2 hours. Now, my thing is, I read the box. There is no warning sign. It didn't say you can't take more than 1 tea bag or maybe start with one. It didn't say nothing. All it said was hot water and a tea bag, and that's it. So I feel like these tea stuff need to have a warning label, but it's also in like Chinese. So maybe the warning sign was there and I couldn't read it. So I took 2, and I just wanted to let everyone out there, I did post it because a lot of people ask me, well, which one is it? I want to try it. And I'm like, I don't know where to get it from, honestly. But I found it on Amazon. It's hard to find. It must be like in Chinatown where you get it. But read the warning labels, peeps. Everybody that tells me that they have to go to the bathroom, go to your doctor. I don't do that, but that's probably the best thing you should do. Don't follow my advice, because see what happens to you. You just shitting all morning. I couldn't go to the gym because if I went to the gym, I was probably going to shit myself with my trainer, and when I tell him something's wrong, he don't believe me because I'm always complaining. So it would have been like the kid crying wolf, and there would have been shit all over the place. So for everyone that asked me to post it, I posted it, but just be really careful about how you do. Not everyone is blessed like Chris to wake up and go straight to the bathroom and just be regular. I'm not regular.
Not at all.
But we can't be not at all.
No.
But don't take that tea, that specific Asian tea, all the time. Anyways, Chris.
What's up?
How can they find you? I know you said it a few times, but where all the places they can find you?
Stylezz on Twitter, Stylezz on Instagram. That's 1 S and 2 Z's. I'm on Facebook, but it's like my government name, and I don't really be on it like that. But Christopher Samuel, if you're feeling savvy. Yeah, TrappinAnnonymous.com. Tidal.
You're not on anywhere else, only Tidal.
My old episodes are on everywhere else, but all of my new episodes are exclusive to Tidal. Okay. You can click the link in my bio. You get 3 months of Tidal for free, and you can check it out there. But hit me up. You can email me.
What are the next parties?
Stuff is attached. When does this come out?
This will probably be out within the next 2 weeks.
All right, R&B party. I'm gonna bring it back for Valentine's Day.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll fly up for that one.
No, you have a kid and you don't have a job.
She goes to her daddy's house.
You don't have a job.
I can probably get a buddy pass.
Okay. Yeah, you should come out.
No, I've been coming up here more for networking. Okay. Because I told you I don't have it in Florida. It's not the same.
There's a place to be, and you have good friends.
I do.
So they're gonna keep you in the loop.
They have to.
Mixy.
I threaten them.
Yeah, good. That's good.
Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.